Hi everyone, today I'm going to be reacting to the cinematic trailer for ARK 2 that got released during the Game Awards of 2020. I think that's what it is. Now, I did wake up in the middle of the night, somewhere around like 3 o'clock or so, and I did watch the trailer while I was like half asleep and stuff like that, and I was like, what is this? I was so confused. I was somewhat disappointed because we didn't see any gameplay, and I'm like, what I didn't get anything out of the trailer. Like, I didn't understand it. Like, I'm like, what does this mean? So I was somewhat disappointed, but I was half asleep. I didn't realize. I'm like, okay, this is actually might be a continuation after Genesis 2, which I'll talk about after I watch the trailer and stuff like that. Again, now that I'm fully awake, to the most that I can be, I guess, having a child. But at the end of the trailer, which you will see, or you probably already seen it, he says, "Goodbye, old friend," and I was a little confused there. It said Santiago, which is actually one of the characters from the Explorer Notes, and I wasn't sure if he was saying goodbye to Santiago, but then later on I realized, because I got it on ARK earlier, and I see that it has like if you watch the trailer, you're able to get like the spear, Santiago's spear, or something like that. I'm guessing the character who Vin Diesel plays is Santiago, which is amazing. And then later on I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe this is right after what happens in Genesis Part 2. Which, let's watch the trailer, and let's break it down afterwards. So, let's just dive right into it. I'm going to stop wasting you guys' time with that prelogue. Anyways, it looks great, but it's a cinematic trailer, so you don't really get anything out of it. But you see these creatures that are more evolved. It looks like it's like a chameleon that's blending in with the Force life and stuff like that. And you see Vin Diesel. What I'm guessing is Vin Diesel. I'm pretty sure that is Vin Diesel. And a little girl in the tribe. And Vin Diesel's like almost like the tribe leader. Which I wonder why they're so primitive. If this, I'm very curious. And then you see these other tribe that are like different, almost like alien-like. Well, I'll tell you my take on that later on. But my question is, why are they primitive? Did they go back to primitive times, I'm guessing? Because they had tech, right? See, the one thing I was disappointed about the trailer is, like, you don't get anything out of it. Like, what does this mean? Like, what is ARK 2 going to be? So that's the spear, I'm guessing, that you get after watching this trailer, that you can get as a skin for ARK. Now, I do like his armor. So maybe what I'm getting a take out of this is ARK 2 going to be similar to Conan? I think that's how you say it, Conan. Kind of like that desert survival game. Look at the T-Rex. I love the T-Rex's new look. It has feathers and stuff like that, which is nice. You know, I was hoping it looks more like a Utyrannus kind of, but I was hoping that the T-Rex would get a TLC that would add feathers like that. But we got the Utyrannus, so there you go. But you see, out of this cinematic trailer, we don't get to see how the actual game's gonna look. Is the game gonna look this good? I doubt it. It's ARK. But you know, I'm gonna stop being bitter. Did he fight the T-Rex on his own? That's what I really want to know. I see no species implants anywhere. Oh, that's the axe that we also get a skin for, I think. Does he fight him without a weapon? Yo, obviously Vin Diesel's a man in everything that he is in. I see like no element, no nothing, no metal tier, no like. I love that she stuck her tongue at the T-Rex. And at the guy, I'm guessing. So here they are at a cave. So they do have species implants. Okay, that I didn't actually notice that the first time I watched it. So they still have the species implant. And there's like a relic, or whatever that is. And you see all the Triceratops, T-Rex, Parasaur, Stego, Bronto, or some people call him the Bronchio. There's some DNA there. See, it says Santiago. And then Genesis system. Lights out, old friend. What does that mean? That's what I was so confused about. I'm like, what does that mean? At first, I didn't know that he was Santiago. Was he saying goodbye to Santiago? But then later on, I realized he is like Santiago. What is that? Those pterosaurs. Is that the new Pteranodon design? And what? See, look, there are multiple planets. Okay, that's something I didn't notice in the morning either. So I have my theories. What I am guessing is we got somewhat of a spoiler towards the ending of Genesis 2, which that's why I feel like, why did they release this? I was reading the description that IGN has for this. It's like, God of War, eat your heart out. Vin Diesel stars in this otherworldly prehistoric action adventure game. What do you mean he's... Wait, is Vin Diesel actually in the game? Wait. Give me a second. Someone's calling me. I'll be right back. Anyways, going back to it. In the description, it says... Vin Diesel stars in the action adventure game. So is he actually in the game? Like, who we are going to see, like for Helena, you know how we actually get to see Helena and we see who she is and stuff like that. Who we actually are going to see in the game as Santiago, if we get to see him in a similar fashion that we see Helena, is he gonna be Vin Diesel? That would be impressive. I would be actually, hands down, impressed with ARK, with Studio Wildcard for that. That is actually impressive. I'm glad I read that. I don't know. Maybe I'll be disappointed by that. Maybe I'm getting my hopes up too high with that. But I'm guessing they just said Vin Diesel, stars in maybe the cinematic trailer, not the actual game. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. Maybe someone out there knows already. I love the comments saying like, oh, family for my family, this and that, because of references to Fast and Furious. I do like that. There is some resemblance there. Him protecting the girl who could potentially be his daughter. Anyways, this also got released with also the announcement of ARK, the animated series, which I am extremely hyped for. I'm actually more hyped for the animated series than I am for ARK 2 so far, right now, currently, because I think it's a little too early for ARK 2 to be announced and all that stuff. We haven't even gotten Genesis 2 yet. So, and people haven't fully played or fleshed out Genesis 2 yet, and we haven't even seen a gameplay trailer of ARK 2. So I have mixed feelings about this announcement. I feel like they could have waited. I know why they released it now, because the Game Awards for 2020. But I don't know. It's strange. I wonder how far into development are they with ARK 2. I knew they would eventually come out with ARK 2, and I knew Genesis 2 was going to be the end, because that's the end of the story. We get the full reveal of, we're on a spaceship now, the actual ARK. We are on the actual ARK now, so it's official. I'm guessing this is the end. Now, the way that this ties into Genesis 2, which I think is a little bit of a spoiler, in my opinion, it looks like maybe we see Santiago actually help us during Genesis 2. Maybe that could be it. But what I could be seeing is that in ARK 2, we do something to the Genesis ship, the ARK ship or whatever it's called, and we make it crash land. And when we make it crash land, we crash land on this planet. Which in this planet we have these aliens that Vin Diesel fights in this game. And when he says goodbye, I'm guessing he's saying goodbye to the Genesis ship. I'm guessing that's what is inside that cave. Maybe, could be. So I don't know. I think Arc 2 could be a continuation with everything now on a planet, on an alien planet, and all that stuff. Now, I'm very curious how they're going to do the gameplay. Is it going to be more story-centric? Like, how are they going to change it? Because Ark is such a specific game, especially online, that I don't know how they could do a sequel to it. But we'll see. Also, you know, they're not showing any, like, future tech or anything like that, so it looks like it's going back to, like, the original days of ARK, the primitive days of ARK. It's almost like Primitive Plus, if you ask me. So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. We'll see. Only time will tell if it really is worth to get hype over this as of right now. If Vin Diesel's in the game, you know, get hyped. You know, that's crazy. But if Vin Diesel is in the game, I'm going to be a little hesitant, because they had to drop a lot of money on getting him into the game. So maybe they, you know, couldn't afford, you know, the money in other aspects. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I mean, and I know with Cyberpunk, you know, because they had to waste a lot of money on Keanu Reeves, you know, they couldn't have him there for a long time. So I feel like that might have made the story a little bit shorter because he's so expensive. From what I've heard, that's what happened with Cyberpunk. Now my other thing is, I've been hearing rumors that this might not be coming out for the PlayStation, which would be kind of disappointing. I mean, I could see why, because the ARK does struggle a lot when it comes with updates and stuff like that, releasing at the same time with the PC. I mean, so far right now, I think it's been coming around the same time and stuff like that. But I know it's hard for ARK to port to the PlayStation rather than the Xbox and all that stuff. Now, the other thing is, I wonder if we're ever getting the updated version of ARK for the PlayStation 5. I think we should. We should be. I know the Xbox did. I don't know if the PlayStation 5 has gotten it yet, but hopefully they do get the updated version, especially with the DLC coming out. I hope we get the updated graphics for the PlayStation 5. I hope ARK or Studio Wildcard hasn't fully given up on PlayStation for ARK as of right now, because I used to play ARK on my PlayStation. But as of right now, with the new launch of the consoles and stuff like that, I personally don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, because it's just literally impossible to get a PlayStation 5 right now. I've decided to actually test out cloud gaming and stuff like that, and so far I'm actually very impressed with it, and so far I have been more supporting Stadia and stuff like that. I know ARK is coming out for Stadia next year, and I think it's coming out free for Stadia Pro members and stuff like that. I don't know. So I'm really hyped for that. I'm really hyped to play ARK on Stadia, because now I could just play it on both of my rooms, on my computer, on my phone. It just, anytime I could just play ARK. So I'm really hyped for that. I wonder if they're going to release ARK 2 for Stadia as well, since I have fully moved towards Stadia instead of, you know, keeping my consoles and stuff like that. I'm more for a Stadia, because I have a Google integrated home, and it's just easier for me to have Stadia, because it's just everything works around Google in my house. So it's nice to have Stadia. I could just be like, you know, trigger word for Google, play Cyberpunk 2077, and it just casts it to my living room or my bedroom whenever I want to play it, because I have the Pro controller, and it's just nice, and it runs pretty well. And I don't have the best internet, actually, surprisingly. I have the worst internet, if you ask me, and it still runs pretty good. Yes, I do have some lags sometimes, but that's just because of my internet. Now, if I play on my bedroom, I lag almost... Actually, I don't lag at all. There's no lag. There's no, you know, issues with the controls or anything like that. There's no issues with that. Now, when I play in the living room, because of my bad internet, you know, it does lag. There's buffers. There's a whole bunch of issues. But that's just my internet. It's not really the actual, what do you call it? The actual software or whatever of Stadia that gives me issues. It's just my internet. So if you have good internet, I would recommend, you know, getting Stadia. And since ARK is coming out for Stadia later on in 2021, I would recommend, you know, maybe play ARK on it. You know, it's free. You know, you get 1 month for free. You could, you know, when it does come out, you know, maybe do the free membership. And you know, Stadia's free after that. You know, you don't get to keep the game unless you keep your pro membership. But then you can buy ARK, and you don't have to pay it monthly. That's the one thing that I like about Stadia. It's free. You know, you don't have to pay every month or so to keep it and stuff like that. Unless you do want to do pro, which I do think it's worth it, because they do give you a lot of free games, and it gives you a lot of good discounts as well. Like right now, NBA I believe is only $10 or somewhere around there. You know, there's some new games like Borderlands, I think 3 is like $10 as well, like $11 somewhere around there. So I personally think you guys should check out Stadia for those of you who are struggling with getting the PlayStation 5. I do recommend it. It was worth it. I am pro it. Anyways, I guess I went on a little tangent there with Stadia. I wonder if it is going to come out for Stadia or not. We'll see. Only time will tell. I wonder if Vin Diesel's in the game. I wonder what the game is going to be like. My guess is like it's after Genesis Part 2 and they crash land the ship on an alien world. That's my take on it. Anyways, I guess I'll end the video with that. If you guys like my reaction, please leave a like. Also subscribe. My next video, I'm going to react to the animated series, which I'm hyped for because I think it's the story behind Helena, which I love Helena. I'm really hyped for that. That I am really, really excited for. So I guess I'll see you guys in that video. Bye.